Hey there, happy Monday. Welcome back to Melanie Loves Death Metal. Got another vinyl collection update today. Rebuilding my vinyl collection. 4 records I'm going to show off today. 2 of them were a surprise, so let's go ahead and get into that. So on Saturday, I'm sitting here and I see the mailman come up to our front door and put a package outside the door. I was already expecting 1 record, which is one of the ones I'm going to show you today, but they put out another package and I was like, I should not be getting 2 today. So what's this? Did I order something that I don't remember? And it looked like a Hell's Headbangers vinyl package, which if you order from there, you know they have a very specific vinyl mailer. Like you pretty much you just always know you're getting a Hell's Headbangers package when you get it. And I immediately thought, like, okay, maybe I did have something on pre-order from Hell's Headbangers I don't remember, even though I thought I had already got everything that I had already ordered. And I look at the label and it says it's from the band Noxis. And I was like, what? Maybe did I order the record? Like, what? I was so confused by this. When I opened it, I knew for sure it was definitely not something I ordered. The band had sent me a care package. So I was so excited. This like completely made my day. I was not expecting this at all. And what was in that package was 2 records that I do not have in my collection. One of them I feel like I had this on tape and I don't know where it is. I tried looking. Maybe I never ended up buying it. I swore I did. But anyway, they sent me 2 records. One of them is their newest album that I've showed off on here on tape. And I also talked about this on Heavy Metallurgy. This is called, I always blank. Oh yeah, Violence Inherent in the System. This is their... Man, this album is just so good. And I know I talked about this in another update like last week. I feel like it was last week. But this is their first full-length album. The band is out of Ohio. I think, and I'm blanking now, and I tried to go back and find the video, but Justin Horville mentioned that I think it might be David from this band works at Hell's Headbangers like part-time. I might be completely wrong about that. I swear that's what he said. So that's probably where the vinyl mailer came from Hell's Headbangers. Also, they're also in Ohio. They could have just had it laying around if they've ordered stuff from there, which I do. I have several of their vinyl mailers laying around. I save them. They're good for shipping like 2 or 3 records at a time and stuff like that. Anyway, so they sent me the record. I do have this on tape. I showed it off a couple of weeks ago. But they said, hey, we noticed that you mentioned that you didn't have this in your collection, so we wanted to send it to you as a thank you for your support. And that is just awesome. I generally tell bands when they shoot me a message that they're going to send me something, not to send me physical copies, just to send me the Bandcamp downloads. I always feel bad like taking the physical copies and stuff. I don't know. It's always been a weird thing of mine ever since I started YouTube. But a lot of YouTubers have told me, like, get used to it. It happens. People are going to do it. So yeah, I was so stoked by this. I love this album. This is probably, I mentioned that Borknagar is like my favorite album to come out this year, which I still think that holds true so far. And then my favorite death metal album has been Slime Lord, Severus, all those $20 from releases. But then this one came out of the woodwork, and yeah, it's really, really shot up there. So it's a really nice gatefold. This is a Rotted Life Records and Dawn Breed Records split release. So if you're across the pond on the other side of the world, Dawn Breed will have copies of these, so you don't have to pay for that U.S. shipping. It's a really, really nice gatefold. Like, this is some superior, really nice vinyl records. It's pictures of the band, lyrics, and then some more artwork. And then here is the back. The one thing that I absolutely love about this, though, is the gatefold flooding that they did. The flooding on the inside of the gatefold has the Noxis logo there, which I thought looked awesome. So just little minor details that really just make the premium aspect of these vinyl pressings. Yeah, again, in gatefold, I love that the gatefold has like the lyrics and stuff like that. Sometimes gatefolds just have an artwork in the middle, which is fine. But anyway, I'm going off on a tangent now. So that's the jacket. Really nice jacket, thick spine, really nice quality. And then they were kind enough to send me the colored copy version, which I know is fairly limited, and I feel like this might be closest being sold out. I'm not too sure, but it's the red copy. Of course, the landscapers come right as I'm recording. These guys are up early. It's 8 o'clock in the morning. I start working an hour, and They're already out there mowing the grass and making a loud noise. So that was the first thing in the package. Here is the hype sticker. And it just says, basically, it's just the name of the album. That's all it says. There's no like special, like for fans of or whatever. But that album is fantastic. I want to talk a little bit further about it. So it is 11 tracks, 49 minutes long, which is a relatively longer death metal album, but it's good because it completely is not a single song sounds the same. I'm gonna be honest with you. Every single song stands out on their own, which is incredible that they managed to do that. One of my favorite songs on here is Horns Echo Over Chorazime. I don't know how to say that. Goddamn, I'm from the U.S. and English is my first language, but I can't fucking talk it or read it to save my life. It's just a very different style of black metal, death metal song. It's got horns in it. It's got brass horns in it. It just is a really, really good song. There's a lot of at moments where I kind of feel like I'm hearing an atheist song, just like very slightly, and then it goes back to like, this is Noxis, we are a new death metal band. They just have their own sound, their own way of playing music, and they have really elevated their music from their last releases, which we'll talk about that in a minute, because the next final they sent me totally different sounding style of death metal that they're playing. So I really like where they've gone with this album. I've talked about it, like I said, several times about how it's so much fun. It's a really fun listen. It's brutal as hell. It's fast. It's got amazing groovy bass. That the bass line is just so prominent. It's so good. Like I said, they've got brass instruments on here. Just everything is like, it goes from like chunky death metal to a little bit of a proggier style of feel of death metal. Like I said, sometimes it reminds me a little bit of an atheist album. Not too much though. Like, don't. Every time I talk about prog, people think that that's like it goes full blown tomb mold, and that's not what I'm talking about. It just they just add a lot of more elements. It's not just a straightforward meat and potatoes death metal album, which is what I would have assumed it would have been from their past releases. Like, their past releases were really good. I was a huge fan of their EP that came out. Expanse of Hellish Black Mire that came out back in 2020, and that was a pretty straightforward meat and potatoes old school sounding death metal album, and they did it really, really well. But they pretty much have come into their own, like, this is our sound, this is our band, this is what we're going to do with this album. So I really, really enjoy it. Again, please check it out. This is by far one of my favorite death metal albums to come out this year. It's shot up so far on the year-end list. When I did the Heavy Metallurgy stream, I had just listened to it probably like 1 or 2 times, like maybe about 3 times before we did that stream. I had just bought the tape and stuff like that, so I hadn't fully digested it as much as I have now. So thank you so much for sending me that. I was so happy to see that. And then the next record they sent me was the split with Cavern Womb. So I talked about Cavern Womb earlier. They released an amazing EP, also on Rotted Life Records this year, Stages of Infinity. Awesome EP. Well, they also did a split with Noxis. Let's see, when did this come out? I forgot. It was a couple years ago. Communion, yeah, that's what it was. It was back in 2021, so it was shortly after they released their first EP. And I remember being a huge fan of this. I was not familiar with who Cavern Womb was, but the Noxis was who I remember, like, who I was familiar with. This was also on Rotted Life Records, so we're just shout out Rotted Life Records. So they sent me the split, which is awesome. So let me show you this. I thought that I owned this on tape, but I guess I never got it. I swore I did. It's in my Bandcamp purchases, so maybe I just bought the digital download, because it doesn't show that I physically purchased it, or maybe I got a free digital download. I don't know, but I wanted to see who the artwork was on this, because I feel like I recognize the artwork. Gotta find it. I'm so bad at reading liner notes, like... Yeah, well, I was on the wrong side, that's why. Rotten Realm, Stuart Cole. Okay, maybe I wasn't familiar, but anyway, I really like that artwork. So there's that side, and there you go. So each side has 3 songs. The Noxus side is essentially what I was used to hearing. Like, that was the style of the death metal that they were playing back then. Again, more of that like underground, straightforward, old school sounding death metal. not as like almost like sophisticated. Like their new album is very, very well written. Just again, not the same, but this was also engineered by Cody from Fix My Face Records, or he was now in Sanguine Sugarbog, so that's just one call out. So it comes with a printed inner sheet. Each side is the Cavern Womb side and then the Noxis side of lyrics. And this is a really, really good split. Cavern Womb is a really good band, a really good cavernous sounding death metal band. This EP is phenomenal. So this is called Communion of Corruption Minds. So there you go. So they sent me that, and this is just on classic black, which is totally fine. I would have been fine if they sent me black on the other one. Each side is just the logo. So yeah, really, really good split. I generally I haven't been buying too many splits lately. I don't know why, but back in the day, I have so many death metal split tapes. Like that's why I said I swear I owned this, but I guess I didn't. So yeah, so awesome split. Check this out too. I'm pretty sure this is probably still available. I feel like I saw this still for sale on Riot Life's website. I'll link everything in the description where you can go find this and where you can go listen to it. And once again, thank you so much to the band Noxis. You guys rule. I really didn't need to do that. Super grateful for your guys' support. And again, check them out. Okay, so now we're going to go into two records that are much more well-known. And they are reissues that I am super pumped that finally came out. They have been wanting them on vinyl for a very long time. I've only owned them on tape and CD, and that is the new Cannibal Corpse reissues of Torture and Evisceration Plague. So I'll show off Torture first. So Metal Blade Records, indie merch in the US, Metal Blade EU, just, you know, they're all out there. There's several different color variants. This is the US color variant, Bloody Concrete. I was not able to get the European pressing that I wanted, which was this really, really nice, like, red splatter. So I grabbed this directly from Metal Blade when it first was announced. Nice reissues. Again, some underrated Corpse Grinder, Cannibal Corpse albums here that have long overdue vinyl pressings that were needed. So printed inner sheet, the full-blown artwork on here. And then I just realized I didn't show you the whole jacking. There you go. So this one, like, again, two underrated albums. These are the ones that I've listened to recently that I've just really starting to enjoy these a lot more. Never really gave them as much love as I have in the past, and just now recently I've been listening to them a ton and just so underrated. So again, this one is such a good album. A huge fan of this. And then also come with a free digital download, so if you want to pause it, that's yours. Again, as always, as I say, if you watch this a year from now, I'm not going to edit that out, so it's probably already been claimed. And then again, here is the color version. I would have really just liked to get the plain black pressings, because those Metal Blade EU black pressings are phenomenal. They sound so good, and they're just really good quality, but I don't have access to them. They were not being sold in the US, and I didn't want to spend $20 shipping for one record or two records at that. So this is the color. I don't know, something Bloody Concrete. I guess it looks like a sidewalk with blood splatter. I don't know, whatever. It plays, it sounds well, that's all that matters, I guess, for that. So that was the Torture reissue, and then here is the Evisceration Plague reissue. So now this one is Furnace Fire, as you can see. This is a EU pressing, orange and red marbled. I got this through Blast Beat Vinyl. They got the European pressings in stock, and I was waiting because I knew they were going to. They were advertising on Instagram that they were going to be getting them. So I waited to order this one because I wanted to make sure I got this one. This one is, surprisingly, Evisceration Plague is selling out. I've noticed this is the one of the two reissues. This one is selling out. This one is the one that people are buying the most for some reason. So this is just, here you go, kind of a darker album cover, as always. There's that side. Of the two, I prefer this album, 100%. And then this one has a really cool bifold printed inner sheet here, similar to the CD. I should have did a comparison, but whatever. I don't feel like pulling the CD off the shelf right now. And then this is the EU color version that I wanted, just because I knew Blast Beat was getting it. I like to support them as much as I can. it is a pretty nice pressing there. So again, I would have preferred to just get these classic black 100, I think they were 180 gram, I don't remember. They're like audiophile black pressings that Metal Blade EU presses. I feel like they press at the same plan as some of the other like audiophile records that I have that are not death metal albums. They just sound phenomenal, great quality. They're just unmatched, and most of my Cannibal Corpse albums that I have are those variants. I sold off all of my color ones, so maybe someday if I'm able to get access to those, I'll sell these and get those, because they just sound phenomenal. And then this also came with the download code, so go ahead and pause it. That's yours. I don't need it. I've had these. I mean, you can listen to these on any streaming platform, but some people prefer the Bandcamp because of like the files and how you can download them and stuff like that. So yeah, those are the 4 records that I got in stock. Back in my collection. Thank you so much to Noxis, man. I was so shocked by that. That made me so happy. I generally don't, like I said, when bands reach out and say they want to send me stuff, a lot of times I'm like, no, just send me the Bandcamp code. Like I feel bad like taking their merch from them. I would much rather just talk about the music and try to do that. But they surprised me. They had my address because I had ordered the tape from them, so they were sneaky guys. So check them out, please. Everything links in the description. The Cannibal Corpse reissues are everywhere. Metal Blade, Indie Merch, all the EU sites. Like I think Kinks Road Merch is the other one that does it. Blast Beat still has some I noticed. Yeah, I mean they're everywhere. Snag them, because I feel like I don't know how often they'll refresh them, because they reissued pretty much most of Cannibal Corpse's back catalog within the last like 2 years. I think Red Before Black and Skeletal Domain probably need a reissue. They did those fairly recently. No, they haven't reissued those. Those are just original copies. Anyway, those are probably going to be up next, I'm assuming, but it has been such a while for these, so I would snag them. I don't know how often they'll reissue them. They've reissued the first 4 Chris Barnes ones several times the last couple of years, and they've reissued Gallery of Suicide and Vile several times already the last couple of years, but these like earlier, or these like later Corpse Grinder ones are starting to get the vinyl treatment again, but I don't know how often they're pressing them, so snag them while you can. Definitely worth it. Yeah, man. So happy that I finally have those. So that's all I have. Happy Monday. Hope you guys have started your week off great. I'm going to have a bunch of videos this week trying to get caught up with my back listening catalog that I have of stuff. So many CDs and tapes I have to talk about of new releases and underground death metal stuff. So be on the lookout. I might try to upload probably like almost every day this week, which I told myself I wasn't going to do, but I want to try to get out as many videos as possible before my schedule goes absolutely bonkers. My kids go back to school in 2 weeks, and they have stuff like after school every single day for months. And I've been recording my videos in the morning before work, but now I'm going to start taking them to school in the morning. So like my recording, I got to figure out when I'm going to start recording videos. It's going to have to be at night, which sucks because I have to be quiet and I have to do it quick, and you're probably going to hear loud background noises because the kids are usually up and loud and just whatever else. Anyway, I have gone off on a total tangent now. I will see you guys in the next one.